To try to keep this fairly brief, we'll look at, we have 5 core points that I've conducted the instruction on. It's going to be balance and posture, stride length and direction. Then we'll look at timing and arm action. And then we'll look at the energy transfer, right? The transfer of the energy from the hips going up and out through the kinetic chain. And then we'll look at the follow through and deceleration, throw, basically the finishing pieces to the pitch. Try to keep it pretty cut and dry here in the video for you. All right, so let's get into one other thing. You can see the email address if you're interested in submitting a video to me for review, put on the channel, send it to that email address. Make sure that it's shot in a horizontal view. I don't need slow motion. And then also I need to know the age of the athlete, and then their name is helpful as well. All right, let's dive into the analysis. Okay, so the first core points we're looking at is the balance and posture. So usually what I'll come in and do is look at the set, right? I like where this is set. I think the shoulders are a little bit low here. I like to bring them up and be a little bit even with it. And the weight distribution in the back hip seems to be okay for me right here. So I like it to be set back just a little bit. And I think Tristan's trying to do this. This is from the right side, obviously. Glove hand seems to be decent height, nice and comfortable in set position. Everything looks to be fairly in a line. What we want to do is check and say, okay, eyes are going forward, this is in a line, the hips are in a line, knees in a line, ankles, so on and so forth, right? So everything we want to get done needs to be conducted in somewhat a straight line or an efficient manner on the path of where we want to throw the baseball. So let's go to the balance point. Okay, from the balance point, let's just take the front load piece for starters. I do see a little bit of drift position where he's trying to lead the hip down the mound here. This hip's inverted, not bad, depending on how he conducts himself coming out. I do like this, the shoulders set in like this, pretty good. And the eyes are on frame. So balance looks pretty good. The hand set may be a little bit high for me at this point. Maybe bringing it down just a little bit around chest height or so, just right around chest or just underneath your chest, right around this mark. So make sure we're not pushing away. We're keeping everything a little bit tight as we go into separation and arm spiral. The balance and posture piece I think is okay at this point, at least from the right side. We haven't got to the left side video yet. So as we go down, might be collapsing the core a little bit more than we want there. I like where he's getting into that back leg right here. I think that's a really good, powerful position. What I want to be cautious about is dropping the chest too far forward. Maybe keeping the posture of it just a little bit more, instead of that angle, maybe a little bit more upright. So we're gonna bring our shoulders back just a little bit more. Every athlete's a little different, so we'll see what his timing looks like on it. Handbrake with a thumbs down looks okay. And let's continue on with this point. So we're getting into, actually this is pretty neat. This is a hard position to get into a little bit with that back hip hinge that he's got going on. So you see where, see how the leg's traveling here. That's actually pretty neat. And then he's got taking his hip down. I wonder about the timing of the arm action. Will he get his arm up in time? Will it be a little early? I'm curious to see that, how his glove side, but I think everything looks pretty good right now especially for an 11-year-old, right? So let's keep that in perspective. Okay, so let's go to separation. So the arm spiral may be a little bit early here, and it's better to be early than late, right? So take that for what it is, what I'm talking about here. There's different thought processes about this. So you want to think about the back hip leading the hand through, leading your pitch through. If we're up here and we land, and then could create a little bit more stress on the shoulder, but I don't think it's a big deal. I think he's getting into good scapular range on the back side of his shoulder, just from what it looks like right now. It's better to be early and late. So what you might do is just stay on top of the ball a little bit more to the front foot strike, and then when you get into front foot strike, essentially that's going to bring you up into a little more thorough arm spiral. Again, we're picking on small areas of point here. So the drive forward, I think this looks pretty good on the back leg. Essentially, what we want to do is think about pitching with our glutes staying behind our heels as we're traveling down the mound. So from this view, it's kind of hard for me to get a sense if Tristan's kind of sucking in his hips and then going to fall backwards off the pitch. If that's the case, we definitely want to work a little bit more strength in the quad area, and then hugging and sitting into the glute a little bit better. Let's move on forward here. So we're going to go to, we're still kind of in stride length direction. Direction looks pretty good. Actually, I like this arm cop phase right here. This looks pretty good right here. Not bad actually. There's a little bit of maybe energy leak from the left side here, where it's maybe rolling down and out instead of kind of going forward or trying to drive through the target a little bit better. I don't think it's a big deal. I honestly like the connection of the foot right here at this point, and then the front side looks good right around a 120 degree angle on the front foot strike. That's a lot of positives here, Tristan. I'm curious to see how the energy transfer is going to come off from the back leg, and then as we move forward, right? So let's carry on. So far, so good. Oh, pretty good. I love that. Nice external layback here, right? That looks good. Chest is going through the target. Left hand's in, nice and tight. Foot still on the ground, so we're keeping our kinetic chain intact still. That's pretty good. Well done. Pass. Okay. We're gonna get through the throw. Holy cow. Dude, this is pretty good. So look at, well, one thing we look at is release height, right? And so are we releasing in front of our front foot, extending the pitch out a little bit? And Tristan's doing a really good job with this so far. And you know, like if you follow the channel and you follow the mechanical stuff that we've been doing with the analysis, then like when I talk about this triangle, right? He's doing a really good job with this pitching triangle. See how his back and his trunk flexion is going forward to help extend his hand forward. This looks really, really, really nice, especially for an 11-year-old. So well done. Congratulations, dad, parent, coach, whoever's giving them advice or helping them out so far is doing a really good job. And then congrats to Tristan. And I want to talk about the energy transfer from that back hip. So I like how he's got this hip going forward now, right? So that's coming out this way. The energy's going through the target. Opened up, it's doing just what I was hoping it was going to do. Good job, buddy. Throw through. Let's look at deceleration. So I'm looking at the hand path, and are we driving our thumb down, which he is. So good deceleration. Nice little corkscrew right here. So guys, see the shoulders right here? How it's like going this way down. He's kind of corkscrewing into the target right there. I really, really like that position. Nice strong leg brace here, right? That's a really good leg brace. Back leg staying behind. That's good use of the kinetic chain right there. This is really, yeah, congratulations. It may not be the pitch you want, but it's the pitch you got, and you threw it there well. So guys, what do you think we say take a look at him from the left side? Okay, we're back. We're looking at Tristan pitching from the left side now real quick. Again, same core points. Posture looks okay. A little bit different. It's okay. The shoulders seem to be a little bit more back. And then look at his posture is a little more upright, I feel like here than it was from the right side. Spacing between the foot looks good and athletic. Everything's pretty well set to go on target here. Good job on the set stance. Let's go into load point. Okay, from load point, I think the hands may be drifting away here a little bit. So let's keep an eye on that right here. Let's keep the brake line maybe a little bit closer to our chest so we can elevate up in a little bit tighter position versus cast away. And then the hip seems to be in a good position here. So that looks all right. So far so good on balance and posture. You know, maybe we could try to bring our shoulders back a little bit on it, but you know, 11 years old, we can work on it down the road a little bit. So as we carry on, going to low balance position to break. So hand separation starting to swing away from our body here, right? So we want to pay attention to that a little bit as we go. So the arms are swinging away from our body here. Again, try to break upward a little bit better. Back hip hinge looking okay. To me, it's better from the right side, but I'm curious about that lead leg. Yeah, so like, remember on the right side, guys, where he had this long leg position and driving his hip down the hill? He doesn't have that here. So he's really almost swinging a gate open from his knee, right? And so it's a little different take. He's trying, but okay. So let's go into separation. Oh, this is interesting. So guys, remember on the right side where he had this arm already completely up at this point, but now from the left side, he's staying on top and tighter. That's kind of where I was getting at. So once we land the front foot and then work into our arm spiral, and then the hips kind of lead us into external layback and we go through the throw. So this is actually, in my mind, a little bit better positioning from the top end. Direction looks good. Back hip hinge here looks pretty good. Staying back on it. Maybe, one thing to be mindful of is try to pitch with your glutes behind your heels and stay strong in that quad driving forward as best you can, right? And as best as you can feel athletic through it. So carrying on. Okay, so it's a little anterior throw, and here's what I'm talking about. So, well, this angle is kind of hard, and so when you're looking at your guy pitching, it's like this, and what you want to see is kind of throwing from the backside here. If you start to see this front shoulder leading the throw, that would be a no-no, right? We want to keep it back and engaged here, and then go through the throw. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, but focus on that shoulder part here and see if it's going to be early, if it's going to be a pushy throw, because it looks like he's dumping into extension a little bit early here, right? So it's going to be hard to maybe convert that hip in the energy transfer to get that throw out. So it definitely looks different, like his right side is natural, but his left side he's learning a little bit more on. Okay, so as we go into transfer the energy, oh shoot, he did do it, dude. Okay, so he came back from, I didn't think Tristan, you were going to get there, but you got that hip turned out. That was good. I was glad to see that. Look at this glow stack. Good job. This angle is different than your right side. It's a little bit lower, right? So you're a little bit more ahead of yourself on the left side, then you're more comfortable staying back on your pitch from your right side. Something to watch on this as you go through the videos here. Decent little external layback here. I like that. Go through the throw extension. So where's my triangle at, right? So dude, toeing the rubber still, extending the throw over the front side. Come on, dude, who are you? Tristan, this is interesting, bro. You got a little athleticism to you. This is freaking nature stuff I'm looking at right now. We're witnessing things that don't happen very often here. The timing and sequencing on this is really, really good and talented. I'm impressed, to be honest with you. I couldn't do this to save my life if I wanted to. It's so awkward to throw a ball left-handed. So good job on throw release, deceleration, thumb down, getting through a little corkscrew here, right? Little corkscrew going down this way. Eyes still trying to stay on frame. Good job. Hip, leg staying back. Nicely leg block. Holy cow, we just witnessed 11U pitching phenom Tristan. Oh no, then we killed it on the decels. Yeah. See this leg lift here? Not leg lift, foot lift off the ground. Can we keep the foot nailed to the ground and have the hips work around to our landing position, or just stay behind the ball and then bring the backside over and land into a more fielded position, something like that. But I don't want to push forward, okay? Because then now we start to push the ball through. It kind of foils our deceleration a little bit. So I think I caught you on something, Tristan, just so I was bragging about you. Anyways, I don't know, guys. You let me know what you think in the comments below about Tristan. I think he's doing a great job at 11 years old. Congratulations on being ambidextrous. Anyways, until I shoot the next video, I will see you guys next time.